If there's snack drama going on, I mean, now that I'm here all the time, I need to be involved in this stuff.
Is
there a secret channel?
Yeah, we'll have to fill you in.
Who eats the most snacks? Like, this is going to be...
Right now, it's the coffee drama.
There's coffee drama.
Nobody can agree
Oh, my
on
God.
what
We really
good coffee is.
We should not be
We got a Starbucks right now.
pontificating on this.
I know.
Oh, wow.
In a Stumptown like 2 blocks away.
It's a whole new era here with Trends with Benefits. You're getting the inside information about coffee drama.
I mean, it's Portland. Coffee's a hot topic.
It is.
Hot.
I really like Sumatra, but I need it to be organic Sumatra, and you need to grind it at like a 5 because otherwise it's too bitter.
Are those free-range coffee beans?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Trends with Benefits. This is our weekly podcast here from Digital Trends, where we talk about the trending tech topics of the day and who drank all the coffee. But we do have lots to get to. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Of course, we're live on Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, taking your comments and your questions and available as a podcast. Today, we've got such things as robot delivery. What would they call them? Like wagon wheels are going to be coming to you soon. Wagon wheels. I don't know.
Little House on the Prairie.
They kind of look like that. Are going to be delivered to you, bringing deliveries at some point, some in a couple of different places. We're going to be talking about that. We've got new things from Apple. We're going to be discussing, of course, the new products this week, and also some speculation about something they may be doing. And on top of that, they might be buying a radio station, or a lot of them. So we'll talk about those things. But first off, we're going to discuss the news about foldable phones. It's always being talked about, whether you want them or not. Foldable phones are on the way, and we already have a company that beat Samsung and Huawei to the market. They're called Royole. It's a very strange name, and we're going to be discussing those here in just a bit. But first, let's go ahead and introduce our cast of characters here out of Portland, Oregon. I'm Greg Nibler, and to my right...
This is Adrien Warner. I'm a producer here and also called Hot Nozzle.
It's Hot Nozzle. Hot Nozzle,
That was
ladies
a
and gentlemen.
clunky intro. I apologize.
We're still getting used to this new studio. So if
Yeah.
you're listening via the podcast and you don't watch the show, we've got a brand new studio here at Digital Trends. It's a lot more, as I said last week, roundtable-y. And so we're still kind of getting used to it. And, we're figuring it out as we go. But
Where are we?
where are we, everyone? Hot Nozzle joining us. And on the end down there...
Marie Pardo-Garber, one of the IT people here at Digital Trends. I don't have a nickname.
What?
We do need to get you a nickname.
No, it's been in the works for a long time. I'm a little scared, to be honest.
And, listeners, go ahead and, write in your nickname. No, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. We've talked about that before. And to my left, it is...
The Whiskey Mist.
The Whiskey Mist. Joining us right now here.
One day that'll get old, but so far I'm into
It's
it.
like a Family
Never.
Guy joke. You just keep on doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just established now. There are people who have written in talking about how they're fans of the Whiskey Mist.
I love it.
Yes, they also
awesome.
believe you may secretly be Greg Proops. I think that's one of the things
That's
that
right.
Oh, really?
Remember,
Because the voice.
Weird.
Yeah.
somebody who had refused to actually watch the video version of the podcast because they don't want to destroy this mental image in their mind that I
Oh, that you're
am
just
basically
another
Greg
version of them.
Proops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a secret alter ego of Greg Proops. Or a secret alter ego of Caleb Denison is Greg Proops. Let me put
One
it
of these
in order.
days, Greg Proops is going to be on this broadcast, and
I just
The two of
interviewed
us
Greg
in the
Proops
same
like a
room?
couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
It's getting
what?
closer
Saw
to
that,
happening.
yeah.
oh wow,
It's getting closer. We're going to make
Degrees
this
of
happen.
separation.
that's a magical moment waiting to happen.
All right. Would it happen? Yeah, minds will be blown.
Make it so.
All right, let's get on and talk about here the first topic, and this is the foldable phone that we were discussing. And so this news just came out actually today, and we knew that Samsung has promised, they say that they're going to reveal how at least their potential foldable phone will work next week if they don't show an actual product. LG has hinted that they're doing it. Huawei is saying they're going to do it. But now we have this company that's kind of out of nowhere-ish called Royole.
Royole with
Royole.
cheese.
Said that they have a foldable phone, and they do. They showed images of it. They've got how it works. There's a video that came out of somebody showing how it works, actually bending it. So it looks basically like a tablet, and then at like I believe it's 7.8 inches on the tablet, something like that. And then you can bend it, and it'll wrap around, and the screen will wrap around the one end, and you can flip it over, so you have a screen on both sides, and it ends up being about a 4-inch smartphone, double-sided smartphone, essentially. And that's what they're showcasing. Of course, their production pictures look way better than the actual video. The actual
That
video,
video,
thing
that
in
video
Yeah,
looks
it's a
like it
little
was
rough.
shot with like a VHS movie,
Yeah.
camera. Like it's not good.
like somebody snuck it
Doesn't-
out of
yeah.
some dark dungeon somewhere where they're
It doesn't paint this thing in a good light.
it's a Russian spy involved. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But yeah, it doesn't look quite like the photos. But nonetheless, it is a foldable phone, and if it works like they're promising, they've got the first one to market, albeit in China, and it's going to be $1,300, I believe, is what the starting price is. But that's probably what we can expect for. I mean, price-wise,
I mean,
Well, if your
that's what we can
iPhone-
expect?
it's pretty low compared to standard phones out right now for twice the size and the bending functionality.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable calling it a phone. That's a billfold. And it's not even like phone. I get that you're going from a phone-ish thing to a tablet-ish thing
Right.
in one device, and that's cool. We talked about that a little bit earlier today, but I don't know. That doesn't look like a phone to me.
I mean, so we've got the phone, we've got the phablet. So what is this going to be then? The
I don't know.
Phoblet?
Wait, the
Phoblet.
Phone.
I just like phoblet.
You know, where
Phoblet. You heard it here first.
a phonelet. Yes, there it was. It was the praise was.
And it
coined
had
right
like
here.
it had a fun name, didn't it? Besides Royole.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the actual name of it is the Flex Pi.
The Flex
Flex Pi.
Flex
All
Pi.
one word. Flex Pi, as
Pi.
Caleb was saying earlier today on
I
DT
want to
Daily.
say it like Cartman.
It
Yeah.
does kind of make you want to do that. And after you start doing it,
Give me my Flex Pi.
there we go. You should clearly be doing the voiceovers for their marketing campaign. Have you tried the Flex Pi? So anyway, but that's what it is. The Flex Pi is out. And my question is this: like, regardless of this one, you know, and this is a foldable phone. Is a foldable phone something anybody really wants? Do you really want one?
It's cool.
It
I mean,
looks
because it seems
so
like that's what all the companies
thick.
are saying. But is that something that we want?
No.
No.
Long story short, I mean, like I think I said it on the video yesterday. If they had like the cool ones, I can like wrap around my wrist and
Right.
like, look at it like a watch. You know, something.
Like a snap bracelet.
Yeah, exactly. Something
Yeah.
that adds functionality, portability. That might add functionality. The portability is a little bit of an issue. Looking at it, just seeing that bend over, it's. I don't know if I can fit that in my pocket.
Doesn't look like a pocketable device to me.
It doesn't, but like, I mean, I'm a woman. I have tiny pockets. Nothing's a pocketable device
This
to
is
me
true.
anyways. So I kind of love the idea of like, oh, look, your favorite old DS, you know, Nintendo DS and your phone are now one. That makes me happy.
So it's just getting rid of things. So you would rather
Yeah,
just
it's.
like wrap them all into one.
And I think I didn't realize, I don't know why I couldn't wrap my mind around the fact that like it can become a phone on one side or a tablet if you extend it. And I was like, oh, like it was like this like light went on. I was like, that's awesome. Because I've never wanted to buy the two separately. So maybe I would buy them together.
Because it's all in
Doesn't
one.
look like something I want to put up to my ear, though. It's more of a
Yeah.
square. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
All the
Yeah.
And in-
fingerprints.
I'm just gonna look dumb.
And
Hey,
in
what's
theory-
going on, Joe? Hold
What
on,
if
let
it,
me go to
like,
tablet mode.
unfolds
Right.
on your face and it like hits you.
I would just worry like I forgot to leave something on the other screen or like flashing all my contacts.
Right. What if,
Bang
Yeah.
info as I'm
somebody
walking
starts
around.
hacking this thing and like you're holding it like
Yeah.
this and there's like porn playing on your phone. Everybody can see it when you're walking around.
It's kind of on you at that point, I think. If you
I mean-
need-
No, I said you got hacked and somebody put
There
it.
you go.
Oh, right.
As we do.
I got hacked.
Also,
My answer for everything around here. Caleb,
Yes.
What are you doing? Dude, I got hacked.
I got hacked.
I don't know what's
I
going
can
on.
attest
Not
to
my
this.
problem, bro.
Actually,
I'm taking a look here, and YouTube was seeing some comments come through. Courtney just said, just because something looks cool doesn't mean it's practical.
Thank you. Yes, agree 100%. It's not practical. I'll say this. I think that when we see other concepts of this device, when Samsung and LG and Huawei and whoever else is like taking
Yeah.
OLED screens, which are super fun, and yes, we love to bend them. You know,
Right.
you just want to roll it up. It's so cute, OLED screen. Like, I think if they come up with like a version that like that we may warm up to this if we see a version that makes more sense, that
Yeah.
we like, that has a little bit more appeal to it. You know, that's just not a sexy device. Royole, not sexy. Sorry, guys, with
Sorry,
your phone.
Flex Pi.
And you know
Yeah.
what? Doesn't matter. We're not going to be able to buy it. It's only for China right now, right?
It's only for China right now. That's true. So, but I think it is just a sign of the times. Like, it is going to be something we're going to be hearing a lot more about. 5G and foldable phones are the trend. It seems to be in mobile, and whether you like it or not. And that's what I really want to see is if these are actually going to move. Like once Samsung's comes out.
More of like the Star Trek, like old school communicator style.
The
Flip open
tricorders?
thing.
Yeah, but-
it's like a flip phone, but it's all screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like the old communicator.
Oh yeah.
and
You know, I'm sure they could probably do that. I mean, just put the hinge and just have two different screens.
yeah,
Yeah, but
I don't
hinges.
know where you put the hardware, and plus, like the OLED screens are fairly resilient. You can bend them, you know, but
Yeah.
to protect them, you're supposed to put them on a glass substrate so that you know nothing can poke 'em. You can destroy the panel itself. And I worry about, to really
Pockets
protect
and,
it. I mean,
purses
if
and
it's not
things.
protected well, then you can damage it. And if it is protected well, even with Gorilla Glass, it looks like it would probably be kind of heavy,
Yeah.
kind of chunky.
I mean, that's not saying that one doesn't look heavy and chunky.
Yeah,
It does look heavy,
So
which is why I don't want that version.
Well, but we'll see what the other ones are. I mean, next week, like I said, we're going to see a little bit more from Samsung. Maybe we'll push them along. I mean, I doubt they're too threatened by Royole, but maybe it'll push them along to actually show some pictures of what it is that they're working on, showcase a little bit more other than it's coming, we got one,
It does make
Can't
me
wait for
excited
it.
for the names that some of the bigger
yes.
manufacturers are going to come up with for their phones. I mean, the gauntlet's been laid down. It's
Yes.
Right.
We started with Flex Pi. Where
Let's
do you go
see
from
Yes.
where
there?
we can
Right.
go up.
There it
from
is.
there.
Well, that's the news on that. You can check out all of that at digitaltrends.com. We've got an entire article about it and just showcasing the different pictures. You can take a look there. Moving on briefly, because we've kind of done Apple to death so far this week, because there is a lot of news in Apple. and I know
Apple
it's
has
a lot of
done me
people-
to death
Well, and
this year.
And in all fairness to Apple, I mean, this is trends with benefits, so I do analyze what the search trends are, and Apple is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
When is it not?
I mean, it's
True.
a lot, and it's because of the
Like Samsung has to burn houses down and set planes on
They need
fire
washers,
to
blow
bump
up.
Apple down on the interest
Yeah.
level of the internet. That's
Yeah. But let's talk about it because that's what people want to discuss. And we'll just briefly recap some of the things that we're talking about. But I've got some other things that I think that we can really get into. So a recap of what was announced this week at their event. You got the new Mac Mini. You got the new MacBook Air, which we're showing a picture right there, the new MacBook Air. It looks fine. It's fine. The price went up. I think
It
you
sounded
can
like Matt
analyze-
Smith just now.
It's fine.
Oh, it's fine?
I mean, it's
Fine?
fine.
I saw him earlier today. Maybe it's just like getting into my brain now. I'm being Matt Smithified. And then we've had also the big one that seems like a lot of people were interested in was the iPad.
Pro.
The iPad Pro. And it does look like a really nice device. They
The
took a lot
iPad
of
Pro and the iPad Pro Gigante.
Yes.
Because that sucker is big, yo. And
Oh,
you know
so
it
the
goes up to
regular one's
$2,000? Like the fully loaded biggest version goes up to $19.99.
Which is way more than what the
Buy a
MacBook-
gaming laptop for that, right? You can get
Yeah.
a decent gaming laptop, Marie, for like less than $2,000.
1,500.
Yeah, and absolutely.
But
So
why
it
do you
is-
have? Why would you get a MacBook Air if you could get an iPad Pro that
Pro,
does
yeah.
more or less the same thing?
Right.
What's going to happen to the
Slap a
apps
keyboard
on
on
this
it.
stuff? Like, what's the difference between Mac OS and iOS going to be now that the iPad Pro is so powerful?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
blurring some lines.
They are, especially if they try to take more after the Surface Pro, where they make it the built-in OS with the iPads. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to the iPad or the iPad. I can't say anything.
Like
It's
regular
okay.
iPad
The
or-
Air.
The Air.
The Air.
There we go.
Yeah.
The Mac. Yeah.
The MacBook Air. Yeah, where it's going to go
The
from there.
MacPad Pro Air.
One thing, and
Max.
That's where we go.
And
It's
that's
MacPad
kind of
Pro Air.
and that's kind of the big discussion when it comes down to it. But there were, and you can read all about this, of course, like I said, at digitaltrends.com and take a look at everything that's going on there. We did see some things though talking about the future of Apple with their Macs and where they plan to go with some of this in some of the patents that have been seen. And it sounds like they're going to maybe a keyboardless computer where it's just eye tracking. And you use your hands in the air. We're getting all futuristic here, but this is
Minority Report.
Minority, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And just within, they're thinking maybe in a like 2021, 2022 is what they're speculating that this could be where we could be headed.
That's
like
not
getting
very
rid of
far off at
keyboards
all, yeah.
altogether, and you just look at the screen and everything moves.
Well,
for
the
you.
Leap tries to do that now to
Yeah.
a certain
Yeah.
degree, and that's kind of struggling. I mean, it's a cool concept, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think. I don't know. Maybe Apple can make something happen that Leap and others couldn't. But I love the Minority Report idea.
Yes.
Right.
At home, from a business standpoint, if I got called every time somebody didn't know the right gesture to make to get their
Oh,
messages
man.
to send,
Gosh.
I would go crazy.
Right.
You kind of need to angle your wrist just like this,
This is-
and then it's more of a sway, not a swipe. It's more of a sway.
Yes. Think the queen, you know?
I get annoyed
gonna
with people
sell.
just in the self-checkout line. Like I couldn't even handle this.
That's
This would be
right.
way too much for me.
Yeah.
You need it. I think you're going to need a license
Mm-hmm.
to operate this.
License to operate your
Absolutely
computer.
agree with
I
that,
think
at
you
least
need a
for the
license
checkout
for the
line.
self-checkout
Yeah,
at the
you do.
grocery store.
You should have to showcase that you know how to use it. You get a 1-year license, and then you got to renew
hole
it.
there too. Like I go through and I make sure everybody can see how much faster I am. See,
Yeah, I'm sure
just
they're all
scanning.
looking
I'm
at
scanning
you.
now
Oh
and
my
bagging
God,
later.
I do that same thing.
I
I
already
didn't
know
even
the
realize
produce
it.
code. I already know the produce code. It's jicama. It's jicama. 93772. I got this. You don't. Go over there. There's a lady over there that knows
4016.
what the produce code for jicama is. You don't. Get a license or get out.
That's organic. Don't you lie to the computer.
That's right. Don't just take the 9 off and pretend it's a
You
cheaper.
need to just take it upon yourself to just police the
Yeah,
self-checkout.
just start doing other people's for them.
There's a video series set in here somewhere.
There's something. We got to figure that out.
We take Caleb to the grocery store.
Just record me getting frustrated and angry.
just staring over people.
We'll go to a Best Buy, have you start quizzing them on things, and then yell at them when they're wrong.
There we go. All right. Well,
I like it.
That's the future, that Caleb will be in your grocery store soon, monitoring you. All right. So anyway, I thought it was interesting, some of the patents. And there's actually another great article at Digital Trends that Luke Larson just put up talking about where he thinks MacBooks could be going and what could be happening with that. So you can check that out, digitaltrends.com. I'm just still picturing you in the grocery line. It's so funny. I do want to see that now. I would watch that show. But one other thing with Apple that, continue on with their attempts at world domination, just like everybody else, is this. They're still trying to make Apple Music happen. And it is happening. There's a lot of subscribers to it. And I know that. That's
They're
really
still trying to make it happen.
Stop
Still
trying to make it happen.
They have Dr. Dre. Not really happening. Give me IV
I
now.
know. I know. That's totally me. No, they're investing a lot, but they're trying to just expand it really as much as they possibly can. And I thought
Robustify.
Robustify. That's technical terms. You can look that up after the show. Robustify. But what's happened is they're exploring right now buying a big stake in iHeartMedia, which iHeartMedia is iHeartMusic, iHeartRadio. It's basically Clear Channel, I believe, started it. I think they still have the controlling interest in it. I could be wrong on that. Maybe they spun it off into their own thing, but it's radio stations. It's an app where you can stream other radio stations and kind of stream music.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, if you want to listen to one of your local radio stations through your Amazon Echo speaker or your Google Assistant armed speaker, you have to ask to listen to that radio station through iHeartRadio. Tell iHeart to do this or that. Or, you're not going to get to listen to it unless iHeart happens to port it over for you.
Right.
Which brings up a question. We were talking about this earlier, and I started feeling really old. So I wanted to ask Marie and Hot Nozzle, do you guys listen to, radio?
I listen to NPR every day.
Well, I do too, right. But do you ever change the dial to something
Other than
else?
NPR?
In my car, I do, but not stationary.
Not sedentary? Right. You're sedentary, you're not really listening to the radio? No, I get
Only
it.
in the car, yeah.
But yeah, I think most people who do listen to radio in the car.
Yeah.
What about you?
Ever since I got a car with Bluetooth functionality, it's mostly music. I did switch to the radio the other day when my phone died early, and it was
Did it crush your soul?
a little bit. Pushing that button to hit radio instead of it hurt a little bit. And it hurt even more when it came on.
I still listen to it just because I was in radio for so long. I just want to hear and then make fun of the people reading the ads and then,
And my sister
see how
is a
bad the
radio
DJs are
DJ.
now and be like,
Sometimes-
ugh, you suck.
Sometimes I'll listen to her in the mornings if I
Yeah.
catch her, even though she's on the East Coast. So yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I do still listen, but it's more out of spite listening.
So
I'll be honest. Yeah, it really is.
why does Apple want iHeart is my question.
And that's the thing.
If they're trying to reach a new audience, or do they just want to be able to control radio and have that? Because, like you pointed out earlier, they got Shazam too, which is music discovery. So they're kind of just finding all the ways that people come to music and getting their hands around it.
Yeah, but
Then
not
maybe figure it out.
Yeah, they're not really putting the pieces together yet.
That's something Spotify can't really do.
This is true.
I mean, and again, I don't know where they would go with that. The iHeartMedia thing is just interesting to me. Maybe it's just because they have so much money. They're like you said, just people are listening. Let's just buy it and then we'll figure it out. Figure out what to do with it.
iHeartMedia also does concerts. They do big events too.
That's true.
That's
yeah.
a good point. Yeah. So maybe they're trying to get more into that. They can have a more vested interest. I mean, they will get a different audience. They'll get, it's an older audience probably that listens to iHeartMedia.
Well, no matter what, I mean, the fact of the matter is, the more assets they gather, the more powerful they become.
Yeah.
And man, is
Even
Apple
if they can
already
just
powerful.
crush it if they want
Holy
to.
crap.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Remove the competition, at some point. Yeah, they really do have a lot in there. It'll be interesting to see where it goes because some of the speculation is either they're going to do just buy it or buy a big chunk of it or do some kind of a marketing partnership. I mean, they have all the power because iHeartMedia, from everything I've read, is way in debt.
Yeah.
So, which is nothing though to
Close to
Apple.
bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can
don't
wipe
care.
that out in a second.
Apple's
If
very
this
familiar.
if this turned into artists getting paid more for the music they make, then I'd be all for it.
that would be nice.
I'm
I
curious.
kinda
'cause,
doubt.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
doubt it.
But I don't know. Maybe that would be their play. Be like, hey, look, we're paying everybody.
But so many artists don't want to be with Spotify that maybe
Yeah.
if the other person holds all the keys, then
yeah.
And
they'll be more
They're so
interested in
attractive.
partnering
They
with
Radio.
can
them.
work better
Yeah.
deals. Maybe everybody benefits, and Apple just continues to dominate everything.
Exactly.
Somehow I
move
don't see
into the actual
Apple
recording industry or something like that.
being that chivalrous. But
Yeah.
it'd be interesting, though. I could definitely see it as a ploy to get new artists that are on the radio but not on Spotify. or
What if they
not.
took a bunch of stuff that we currently get for free and put it behind a paywall?
Oh, that's an idea.
And just said, hey, you have to pay.
And that
99
because right now
Yeah.
a big part of the problem is that you've got these free versions of Spotify where they don't pay anything, and the ads don't really seem to pull a whole lot of revenue for Spotify.
Yeah, they're
so
having issues.
They don't have a ton of money to pay the artists, the way they would need to. So maybe Apple, if they just put everything behind a paywall and fold it in with their TV streaming and they cross promote like crazy. I don't know. They
With all their original content they're
Yep.
buying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, $1 billion of content just to start
all of a sudden
with.
Apple is a record label,
Yeah.
and so there's less of a step between how the music gets made and then how it gets to your ears.
Yeah.
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 99 cents if you want to identify more than 5 songs at once.
Yeah.
Or 50 cent. Sorry. Can we move on now? Pretend like that.
Stop talking about
Apple, please.
Pretend like that didn't
All
just
right.
happen.
Let's get to the final topic here.
Sorry, you guys.
We'll just leave that one. Moving on to the final topic, though. Let us know what you think. We are broadcasting live, and I do want to hear what people think about that. But the final one I wanted to bring up is this. Starship Technologies, which the name sounds like it's going to be some kind of a spaceflight company. That's not what they do. They build robots that ride along on the street.
Yay.
So Starship Technologies, they've been working on this for a while, and I'm trying to remember where they spun off of. I
I
believe
know. I was like, I've seen these. They were in
yeah,
Rome.
the robots were?
Yeah, these robots, or maybe it was like an exact similar replica
exact
of them.
similar.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to. We'll double check on that part.
An exact similar replica.
Yeah, there we go. We got a close up of Adrien while she's talking about this. So,
Thank you.
so what it is essentially these. I mean, what would you say these things look like? How would you describe?
I don't know. Can
Little
I see them?
cool.
Yeah,
They
we're
look
gonna pull them
like
up here right
rice
now.
cookers on wheels.
Yeah.
Rice cooker on wheels, okay, something like that. Well, what it is Starship Technologies, 2 different places right now. I believe it's Sunnyvale, California, and also somewhere in the UK. They're launching this and hoping to obviously expand it to where they'll do local deliveries via these autonomous little wheeled robots that you throw your package in it locks, you say when and where you want it to go, and it navigates the sidewalks by itself, crossing roads, minding streetlights and all that stuff, and just delivers your package. So they think it's going to change the way we deliver things. They're saying, basically they're going after the post office. They're going after local FedEx and UPS. There's a video showcasing this person. I think they put
We
some kind of
tested
package.
one of those.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did.
I had
Drew
one here.
Had one that he rode around Portland, right? Or rode around, but
Yep.
yeah, had
Doesn't
going
it
around
Face
Portland.
ID to make sure that it's opening for the right person?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the theory is Face
Oh,
ID,
it's so
and
cute.
I mean a lot. And it can detect supposedly whether there's people in front of it.
I love that it has a little attention getting flag on
Yeah,
it,
like
as
a
if you're
tiny
not
thing in
going to
the
notice this thing
supermarket.
going down the street.
Right.
Well, I guess if you're in a car and you're higher up, you need something to get your
Oh, it's going
attention.
to get run over no matter what.
Well,
Oh, I
Can you
know.
imagine that, though?
This thing's going to get punted across the street.
Can you imagine that? You're in your car, you run over this robot that probably cost however much money.
Oh, and
and
then
then
it
it turns
gets-
out it was also carrying like a MacBook Pro inside
Snag
it
the
too.
MacBook, and you keep
And you're like,
going.
great, I ran over both of
don't
them.
Yeah,
do that.
who's liable for accidents? That would be my question.
Well, I would suppose they would be.
Look at it
Starship
deftly
Technologies.
maneuver around that fire hydrant.
The video, you'll have to go to Digital Trends if you're listening to the audio podcast and see this video of how this is working. They're not the only company.
going
There's a
down a
couple
nice
other companies
Dark alley now.
that are trying to work on this as well. I mean, in theory, I suppose it's fine. That was the other thing. They're looking at keeping it like a subscription service. And talking about as little as $10 per month that you could use it. Now, I don't know how many deliveries you get. I don't deliver things that much to the neighborhood.
No.
But, I don't personally going to send my buddy 4 blocks away.
You don't want to
like,
get a package from
I
Greg.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't know how much better this is than like
Surprise.
the Amazon lock, or I know
Yeah.
that's not the official name or anything like that. It's cuter. I would use it. I would pay $10 for that in a heartbeat.
It's cute.
But I also think about like scalability and like how many people live down gravel roads.
Yeah.
And you just tumble down a road.
It goes into a pothole and never comes out.
Right,
Just how many people
the
are gonna steal from
infrastructure
this?
of our
Yeah.
cities, I don't think can handle like the advanced technology of these robots.
I know.
And so,
That
but do
is
you like this better
Infrastructure,
than a
yeah.
drone? Like a drone delivery? Do you like this better than drone delivery?
Drone makes more sense.
It does. It makes
Yeah.
a lot more
There's
sense.
challenges there too, though, with the FAA and where can the drones go and how high can they fly,
There
and then
is.
of
And then
course-
falling out of the sky. And,
and hurting
Yeah.
somebody.
I mean,
or people
yes.
shooting them because come on, target
Yeah.
practice.
But
people
do
are
I
going to
like
shoot these things.
People are going to roll over
People are
those
gonna
so
hunt
fast.
these and roll. Exactly. I can imagine myself like being late and taking a right turn on a red.
Yeah.
And crunching one of these.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I mean,
I-
if there's a possibility that there's
People are
like a MacBook Air in there or something
Yeah.
like that, yeah, people are gonna find a way to get
Yeah.
into those things, or there's gonna be some great videos from it of people trying to break into it.
In its
could be
defense,
good, too.
though, I would use it solely just to send my friends weird things. You know, they open it up and there's like just
There's a
something-
cabbage.
Yeah. There's like a cat
whole
inside of it.
cabbage.
One
It says
cabbage.
congrats for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like carved into the face.
Just
Yeah.
fill it with potatoes and send
Okay,
it off.
now
and then-
now you're getting me interested in this.
Bratwurst
Now I can see.
I would be
yeah,
so
I'd send it
delighted.
I'll be bratwurst.
I'd be so delighted if one of these showed up at my door. I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
Here, Caleb. Here's a bratwurst.
You have to cook it.
Sausage in good health.
Well, Starship Technologies. So there's 2 different locations. Like I said, they're testing this out right now. Well, I mean, not even really testing it out. They're launching it. So in these 2, and then they'll see if we're going to get any expansion past that. But that is, you can read all about it at digitaltrends.com. Let us know if you would utilize a delivery robot rice cooker on wheels, or I would go with the drones. A drone sounds way more useful to me. At least it has better chance of making it to me. Although then you could just follow. Well, you could follow either.
The bigger
of
the
these two.
package, the bigger the drone's got to be to carry it. 'cause
That is-
it's all that
yeah.
weight.
And that is the other thing. Like if this thing's just going along the street, what's going to stop somebody from just following it along and just waiting for you to open it? Like,
Yep.
I'll take
Showing
that
up
now.
at your doorstep with
Yep.
Slap it
lethal
on your-
weapon.
Also, how heavy are they? We had one in office.
I don't. I didn't get to feel it.
Like,
I
will
just
we have
saw
like a really windy day and just see these things like flying
They
through
look
the
pretty
air?
hefty.
I think they're pretty hefty. Yeah.
the battery you would need in order for that thing to go rolling around for
True.
a while would probably be fairly heavy.
A couple of comments just before we
Solar,
wrap up.
right?
Paulo 20 says food delivery. Yeah. Although I think a drone would still be faster. I think a car would be faster.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's like just a couple of
Bike.
blocks away.
A bike is faster.
Yeah.
Than that thing.
Right now, I think that would probably be the fastest, but we'll see where it goes. So you can check that all out at digitaltrends.com, just like everything we've been talking about here with Trends with Benefits. And we are an audio podcast, so hit subscribe wherever you get podcasts. If you want to see a live version of this show on November 10th, Trends with Benefits will be at the Portland Podcast Festival. So we'll be there broadcasting. You can see us in person. You can see Caleb in person if he actually looks like Greg Proops. Or is it Greg Proops looks like Caleb Denison? We don't know.
Go with the latter.
Kicking
And
the ass.
Maker's Market sponsoring, so I bet you'll be drinking some.
Woo!
A real live whiskey mist happening.
Yes. We'll get you one of those
The
little
whiskiest
Mr.
mist.
Yeah, the
fans.
whiskiest mist of them all, live in person. All right, send us an email, podcast at digitaltrends.com. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another episode.